You are now entering the MuseCast.
Who?
Hey. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Wait. Okay, now.
Start it over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at episode 88. 8 is a great number. I love this number. And now there's 2 of them in the same number. It's amazing. And we have Kyle Aligood, and this is his 8th time on the show as well. So it just all made sense.
8th time.
80. It's happening. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Kyle, Gasoline Alley Recording Studios here in Tallahassee, Florida. Among many other things, drummer extraordinaire. Been on the MuseCast 8 times. He's done a lot.
Wizard Conjurer.
Wizard Conjurer. That's a newer addition to my resume, but I'm liking it. You know what I mean? Like, it feels good. It really confuses the HR people when they read that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this is great about the recording and the drumming. We were really more curious about this wizard conjuring thing you have, you know?
So it's not sorcery. It's more wizard conjuring.
Yes.
You guys were together this weekend, and I wasn't there, but you guys recorded some music. And obviously, there was a running theme of something to do with Kyle being a wizard, because I saw your post. That's what I assumed was the case, Dick. You put up a post of Morgan Freeman and multiple wizard.
No. Well, the Morgan Freeman wizard did come by.
Yeah.
He is definitely not Kyle. Kyle is a different wizard, but the Morgan Freeman wizard did stop by. So he grew up a couple streets down from Gandalf.
Yeah.
Lesser known role from Mr. Freeman, but no, it was just a reoccurring spoof of the recording process. Was the wizard Kyle kind of invented the wizard.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want to say about it right now, because I mean, like, there is a process to that sort of madness, because that happens a lot when I'm producing and recording people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a theme, right, that comes up and you run with it the whole recording session. Yeah.
Definitely. And I mean, sometimes it's a joke. Like, you guys both met Rob, my assistant.
Yes. Super nice.
So, like, the running theme I have with him is so weather machine. Like, this whole place is just like a weather machine, and it's a very
like a German.
Yeah. He's like
the weather machine.
And
it sounds a little like Elmer Fudd.
The particular twist on it is that the German scientist that I'm portraying is like mildly aroused by everything about the weather machine. Do you know what I mean?
I love this.
Of course, because he's German. It's always mildly aroused by everything.
Right. I mean, so if there's a preamp gain knob to change, like, and especially if I get like a sound right, like if I get the right snare drum sound, I'll say something like, like, oh yes, so weather machine likes it very much, and I do too. You know, and it's just like, Rob fucking hates it.
I love it already. You can do that with me anytime.
Yeah.
You could be that character the rest of this podcast.
I don't think I could have a whole podcast worth of material. I'll work something up. I've got a tight 5 for fucking sure.
Okay.
You know?
Great.
But like that, but so there's like running jokes like that happen, but then other times it's like sort of what the Morgan Freeman. Well, okay. Lonely Wizard is the actual theme, and then the twist on it was Morgan Freeman as that wizard. So that's where it became like funny. But the actual theme was like a lonely immortal wizard. You know what I mean? And it was just to kind of help us keep thematically straight and on point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that there.
The wizard came about in the first session when it was just the music. We did 2. Mm-hmm. This was the second session, and we did the first session, no vocals. We had a vocalist on standby.
Right.
Jason Cupp came and hung out for the night. But so
I was there for that. The first one.
Yeah, you were there. You were there for the beginnings of it. Yeah. That one went on till to the 2:30ish in the morning-ish.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it was out at like 10:30 or so.
Yeah. It was a long one.
Hey, so was I. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I was there in body, but in body only. Do you know what I mean?
I totally get it.
Yeah. Like it's after you've caught like your 9th or 10th wind, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of like there's not a lot left in the tank. I think I actually drove home that night, which was like scary. I've got to stop doing that.
Like I got to be careful, man.
Sleep on the couch in there.
Yeah, I do from time to time, but this place does kind of get like spooky, like super late at night, particularly.
Does it?
Yeah, because like what I'll do is I don't know if you guys know about there's a podcast called Last Podcast on the Left. And
Amber really likes those guys. They do a lot of serial killer stuff. And,
I love all that true crime kind of stuff. And occasionally they will do like wooey stuff like ghosts or goblins or whatever. And
goblins.
Yes, ghosts and goblins. Yes.
Oh, it's a pair?
Classic combination.
Not well, I should have said like ghosts, goblins, true crime, that kind of stuff.
Because I don't hear about people talking about goblins that much.
They don't get, you know what I mean? They're really underrated as far as like, magical entities or mystical entities goes.
Way more ghost stories.
You guys got to stop fucking sleeping on goblins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
what do they come and do? What does a goblin come and do?
Just normal, see, the problem is they don't have a thing. You know what I mean?
Fuckers.
Like, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
they're pissed. They're pissed. People always confuse them with the gremlins.
Yeah, that's true. They've really.
I would get irritated.
They think you can't feed them after midnight and stuff, and that's not their thing at all.
It's not their thing. They've really got to start niching down though, because at this point they've been around for centuries. I feel like they have no one to blame but themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got no thematic story.
No,
I can't tell you. I mean, a ghost. There's all kinds of cues. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get the woo-woo, the boo, the sheets.
Yeah. But there's an interesting thing, too.
Moving things, objects levitating.
Yep. Ghosts.
I heard something, I feel it on the back of my neck.
More of a poltergeist, though, right? Moving stuff around.
It's a ghost, isn't it?
I mean, it's a designation.
No. A poltergeist is a demon? Is a demon?
I feel like a poltergeist has possessed a place.
Yes, that's
like
right.
A poltergeist specifically has possessed a area.
Yeah, it has it has boundaries. Like,
but it's a dead person that's back as a ghost. Yeah.
Well, I guess it can be, or it could.
I haven't watched enough horror movies to be honest with you.
Feeling a little out of my
element. People are screaming. People are screaming at the screen right now. You're an idiot.
Okay.
Obviously,
I'll get us back in our element. All right. So the reason I don't sleep here is because
other than the gremlins
is because a lot of times when I'm breaking down and like rolling cables and putting everything back where it needs to go, like I'll just put that podcast on, but it's dead quiet in the studio and it's only me, and I start getting kind of fucking creeped out,
Yeah, sure.
Now there's nothing spooky about this place at all, but the couple of times I have slept here, which one time was just out of necessity. Like I almost made it to Lake Bradford Road and I realized that I needed to stop for some reason. And I stopped way too aggressively, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm headed back inside. I'm going to bed.
Oh, good for you. That's impressive that you took the initiative to retract at that point. You're mentioning how it was like scary because you're listening to it at night while you're, we're talking about late at night. You're done with the session.
Yeah.
We're talking about you and me are probably Lunar Alliance brothers.
We're
into the late nights. I go to bed normally around 3 a.m. There is, and I'll listen to stuff that late too. And it depends on where I'm at in the whatever's happening. I listen to different things in chunks. So sometimes it's like philosophy and stuff like that. Other times it's economics. Other times it's just whatever rabbit hole. I'm currently down economics and spirituality right now. Don't ask me why, but anyway, There's something about late at night like that, though, when you're listening to stuff, and music included, where I always gravitate to this. There's something about so many people being asleep. I feel like there's less energy waves in the air, and there's just something to connect to. Like I get things on a different level when I listen to them after midnight.
Yeah.
There's something about everything being shut down and no other distractions coming in, and it's like, it almost reminds me a little bit like, well, I also remember when I was younger, most of the best stuff that I would write on a guitar was after midnight. It was like way late, everyone's asleep. And then it would just be like, I couldn't stop the creativity from coming out. I think there's something to that where like, you're just like, maybe there's less clutter of energy around, and you can just like really tune in, and everything's a bit more enhanced.
I think it's like the world's default do not disturb mode. Because there's we talked about him a little bit last time I was on here. There's a YouTube guy, Jordan Valeriot, his hardcore music studio. And he's like YouTube educator and everything like that. And I'm on his email list. He's like really great at the business aspect of all of this. Definitely one of the people I admire and look up to. But
nice.
one of his emails, and I think I archived it because it like made this much of an impact, is that he said, when you sit down to work, there are like levels of how intensely you're working. And he has the level that he wants to get to. He calls it deep work. And part of how he does that is he puts like his phone on like do not disturb or airplane mode or something like that. And he just kind of freezes out the outside world. So like no emails, no texts, no nothing. Right.
Yeah.
And you just kind of absorb into the work. I think that same thing sort of happens when you're working late at night. But there's an added, and I remember feeling this way when I was a kid. If I stayed up late, it was like, oh, everybody's asleep. Like this is, it's like freedom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's super conducive, I think, to like this deep work concept that Jordan Valeriot talks about. But it has that added twist of like little kid excitement of like, I'm staying up late, like no.
Yeah.
That was more it for me. I think when I was young, I hit that same witching hour that you're talking about, Ash. It's like that spike of creativity that comes. But for me, it was more or less just the fact that it was something I was doing something when at a time I wasn't supposed to be doing anything. Like up past your bedtime. It's not normal. It's a little bit out of the box and kind of rebellious. And I think that was what gravitated me towards it. I don't think my brain didn't process it as deep as the world is asleep and there's not as many thoughtful minds, conscious at that time. Yeah. But more so that it just, but I know what you're saying. Many nights up late writing riffs on guitar. Nowadays I enjoy that. I don't get to do it as much because I've got a normal wake up at 5 a.m. and be hour commute to work and be there by 7 kind of thing.
Yeah,
totally.
But when I do get to do it, it is still, there's more creativity in those times for me. And I feel that. I do want to experience Gasoline Alley late at night, though.
Well, I would have to walk outside for like an hour and go sleep in my car to really get the full, like, it's just you and whatever's in the studio experience. But I'm happy to provide. It'll be fun. Because there is a level here, since we do have so much, sound treatment and, absorbers and gobos everywhere, that it's a little bit quieter than like a normal room. And I think that enhances some of that like spookiness level, So, it really, it's not like there's cotton in your ears, but there's just less sound than you're used to, which can be somewhat disconcerting, especially late at night when it's just, you and a podcast talking about, ghosts or some shit. Like it.
Look out behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking exactly. It's like, look, I'm just trying to wrap these cables and go home. Please, you will have your space back.
But
as soon as possible.
But you gotta enjoy that though. There's something appealing to putting yourself in that kind of situation, right? It's the reason people watch scary movies. You know, I'm a gamer from time to time, and I enjoy a good like really cerebrally scary game. And if I play it, it's gonna be late at night with all the lights off. You know, like a Silent Hill 2 remake type of thing, or there's a couple of those Resident Evil games are really good at building that tension. Then you're in the dark. Oh shit! What's happening here? But we do it to ourselves for a specific itch that has to get scratched, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of trying to tap into the creative energy whatever route I can find that kind of tickles it a little bit, then I kind of keep exploring that direction.
Sure. Yeah.
That sounded so ridiculous.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't because
no, but it sounded highly sexual.
Well, it's a Western machine likes it. Yes. Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Show me your ears! What? Show me your ears! No! What are you doing here?
We're looking for Dobbs, Dorian. We need help.
Help me!
I'm trying.
No, but I mean that's where Weather Machine gets born. That's where Morgan Freeman as Gandalf gets born, is like chasing down ways to keep us all engaged and feeling creative and positive. You know, like
totally.
I'm a big believer in, you know, look, you guys, I mean, you know, y'all saw we were here for fucking 14 hours or whatever, and it can get like to be a real slog. Like it can be really like, oh my God, we've been here for 10 hours, 11 hours now.
Well, it can be hard to keep the energy alive for that long. However, because of when you have different personalities, it can kind of help propel it, right? Like you guys are almost taking shifts being the person that brings the energy back to the room a little bit. That's the hopeful goal. It doesn't always happen, but it can be a big catalyst. Yeah.
It helps. I mean, sometimes I have to kind of like force out a weather machine, so to speak, whenever I'm not, just because it's like somebody's got to prime the fucking pump and get us get us moving again.
Gotta get going again. It gets super procedural for me when we get into like those long hauls, and like at some point the creative part will inevitably shut off. And so, it happened to me on the last session. There was like an acoustic thing that we were doing that we did after we got done with the vocals for the primary goal, which was the big song that we're working on. And we had this other song, it's an acoustic song. And it came to a point where I made this crazy decision to write a part in the studio, and we were like 10 hours in. You know, it wasn't late at night. This was like later in the afternoon. This was pushing 5 p.m. I think it was right around the 5 p.m. hour, and we had started at 8 a.m. So this was late in the session, and it was a song that I really, really had meant to write it, but then didn't realize that it was going to be that late in the thing. And it turned into a thing where I needed it to be procedural. And I remember making a couple of calls thinking that I needed something to do it. I remember I brought Jeff in the room, and I needed him to do his part. But then when he got in there and sat next to me and started playing, I realized I really didn't need him to do that. I just needed something else to happen for a little bit. while my mind was like gathering in to perform. And it was procedural, but I had to write it. So the writing part, there was creativity there. There was a part that was written, but it was very, very hard to articulate it and put the dots together because I was kind of firing on fumes. And my mind it was late. And I had a lot of really important things to do after, and I was already kind of detaching from the game, so to speak. But that happens, those long,
of course it happens.
Those long sessions. But Kyle's so good. Anybody listening, Kyle is so good at keeping the positivity, keeping the good vibes going while still being like, the conductor must keep the train going. We must keep the train must be moving all times be moving.
Well, a lot of that comes from Kurzweig, like just watching, because that's like how he does it. Do you know what I mean? That's how he's always got like some joke or some way of letting you know that like he's still there, he's still engaged. And, watching him do that was really inspiring because, he produced my old band's record. You guys, your captainship speaking, you guys know, but I know other people.
Tell others, your captain speaking with Russ on there. Yeah. Russ sang on Cue the Muses.
And so
Disco Nightmare.
I got to watch him, Kurzweig, do that, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So that's how you do it. You know what I mean? And it was really inspiring. So like anything that you guys get from me, I feel like originates just because he's so good at what he does. You know what I mean?
I believe what you're saying is accurate. However, what is obviously not everyone can just witness that and do it. And it's a lifestyle that you have. It's a personality that you have that can bring that to the table too. I mean, I've known you outside of Gasoline Alley predominantly. Right. Like, I mean, I kind of mentioned, and so there's a part of your character that's just there. I think that's the character type that is really comforting to have in a studio. I've been to a few studios and not everyone's like that, Lee Dias is very playful and fun. When we did it with Michael Birnbaum and Chris Bittner, there was running jokes. We had look at those mangoes, like every time we had a good take. And then we started doing all kinds of fruits and it's cool, but it was still very, very different. They were much, much more. There was, I don't know if it was a New York thing. We were literally in New York, Woodstock, New York, but nonetheless, and maybe more of a northern personality. I don't know if it's just a southern thing that we have going on here.
Was it in the city or in the country?
It was in the country. It was in Woodstock, New York. So it was like on a farm.
So it
but they were definitely New Yorkers. They had the New York accent going. They've spent some time around, or New Jersey. I don't know how to tell the difference, to be honest with you.
So it wasn't because they didn't have trees or enough public restrooms.
No. They seemed to have had all that. And they were great. They were nice, but it was more nerve-wracking. It was a more nerve-wracking experience, and it wasn't because of the bands they worked with. It was part of it was kind of like how it was working with him. It was hard to hit a comfort zone. They did have really high standards, but I didn't feel that. Whereas with Brett, he put me in a comfort zone also, where I was able to just play the song, just feel it out, and like see if I felt good about it. Like with them, it wasn't even a question of what I liked about the take or not. There was no question of that. It was like, all right, let's do it again. And it's like, all right, could I get some feedback or one more time? And it's like, all right, what are we going for? What didn't? And now I'm self-conscious and rigid, and you don't bring that to the table at all, And I had a rut, when we were recording a couple months ago, I was like trying to invent a solo thing. I kind of had a loose idea over that part, and I'm just running, and I just felt like I was running in circles there at the end. And we extended more and more, and I was just like, I don't even know where I'm going with this. But I never felt like stressed out about it. Good. It was being able to walk away from it and still feel like I didn't like figure out what I would have come up with had I written it all. Like it was okay because I never got stressed out about it. That was a really nice, rather than walking away feeling like a failure. I had a couple of days like that at Applehead where I just couldn't quite get something down the way that they wanted, but I couldn't figure out what it was that they wanted me to do differently. So I just do it again. And it's like, this is weird, man. Like, I don't know what I'm going for that's trying to be different about what I did in the last take to the next. So it's important to be comfortable with the person that's your engineer.
Totally. Yeah.
And you bring that to the table for sure.
Oh.
And I've seen you with other people too, and other musicians, and that's a consistent thing. And I'm sure you got a lot of that from Kurtzwig, but there's no doubt about it. It's like that's a part of your personality, and that's why you fit into the job that you do, and why you're good at it.
Well, I thank you. I guess what I should say is that like watching Kurtzwig do his thing made me feel like it was okay to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like he gave me permission, not directly, obviously, but he gave me permission to be like, yeah, no, say the weird thing, do the weather machine bit. Like, it's fine. It's the ultimate goals remain the same, as you want to walk away with something that everybody can be proud of and, hang their hat on for a long time. That doesn't change. That still is the same.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that we can't all have a fucking fabulous time doing it, and really enjoying it. And
now my camera's out of focus.
Oh man,
No,
Bigfoot.
I'm listening to you, man. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I just saw Dick trying to get focus back on him, and I'm like, it's because it's too dark. I wanted to say something. It's like it can't see your face, and then it does it to me, and I'm in full light on a great camera. I'm like, why is mine out of focus? Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's the goblin jumping from screen to screen.
Damn goblin!
But maybe they finally found their fucking niche. They need to.
Yeah.
They're podcast interrupters.
Focus on podcasters.
Yeah.
No, but I think being playful. This is a reoccurring theme that I like to incorporate into everyday life in any situation. Is that being playful is more productive than being serious. Unless you're in a courtroom in a murder trial or something, but
there's extremes that require.
But being playful is always going to let people feel relaxed. For one, it's going to immediately take the tension off. Like we did a couple of takes, and that's okay. Now give me a silly one.
Oh yeah.
Now give me the silly one. It's like just like it gets so serious, and you think, and then you get in your head, like you're talking about that, especially if you got some engineer, like some dry push button engineer. I've never been to Applehead, so I don't know. I'm just assuming.
And I don't mean that. I don't want to. It's like they get shit done. They get good results. It was a more it was a little scary. It was like there were times where I felt like
intimidating is what it was.
Intimidating. Yeah.
It sounds like it was big studio, big intimidating studio, and they didn't dumb themselves down a little bit to make you feel comfortable. And I feel like that is an important thing, especially with artists, bringing any kind of artists into a place where they're to perform, whether it's to create or record or anything. And Kyle's like, the bullshit barriers down, it's like, we're here to have fun and get some stuff done and be creative.
Well, and it's just important to remember what the hell you guys are doing. You guys are making some music.
Yeah.
It doesn't belittle the power of it, but it's really important to remember, in no way, in any shape, fashion, or form, when you thought about being a musician, did you think, I want to do this because I want to be real serious?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's supposed to be an escape from that bullshit to some extent, right? It's the thing that helps relieve. And you can take it seriously, but there comes a point where you got to remember, and we're actually just like making music. We're making art. Oh, right. We're making art. Oh, this is like an art. And on top of it, if you're somebody in there recording your stuff, it's like, oh, I came up with this. Like, I could even decide that I want to change it if I can't get it down this way. Like, I mean, what rule set are we following here? I could just play it this way, whatever gets, there's flexibility. You think you get stuck in a box of thinking like it has to be executed point A to point B. And it's like, whoa, you created the box.
Yeah.
You wrote the whole instruction pamphlet. You could modify it if you need to.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of goes and can swing and has swung recently in the other direction, which is like sometimes, okay, Rob's band, my assistant Rob, his band that he's been in and fronting and leading for a minute is called Almost. And they're a really great band. I love them. I love producing them. Because again, 98% of the time it's so incredibly like playful and free and fun, and it's just a great time, and we're recording some killer music at the same time. But this EP that it's in the mix process right now. We've finished recording it, but like this is going to be like their last EP as a band. You know what I mean? I don't really know what's going to happen after that, but it's Tallahassee, college.
Or?
Yeah. College.
Okay.
College band moves.
That's the nature of the Tallahassee college bands. They're there for a little while and then graduate and move on.
Yeah. So they had they sent me all the demos. It was like 8 or 9 songs. I can't remember, but 8 of them, let's say there was 9 songs total, 9 demos that I got. So 8 of them were like very, I don't want to say straightforward, but like it was big rock song with big rock guitars and big rock hooks and just big rock. Yeah. But then the last one was this sort of, super mournful, like just acoustic guitar and vocal track. And Rob had told me a little bit about it. Just said it was like something, kind of to do with his feelings about maybe the band ending or whatever, because it's his baby. And, it's always like kind of there's a bit of sadness when that is happening.
Sure.
So I set it up so that was the very last thing we were going to record. And I did it on purpose because everybody in the band was together. We turned off all the lights in the studio except for there's like stage lights, stage cans things that we have. The ego lights is what I guess they get called sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, so I put them on like blue, I think. I just had some lamps on. I mean, it was like way laid back vibe. And he did 2 takes. But we ended up using the first take, Wow. But sometimes you have to go that direction too, because not only are you, wanting to record great music, but like you want it to be emotional, you want it to be impactful. And I wanted the band to have a little bit of a sort of almost like a funeral or something. Do you know what I mean? Like I wanted them to have a moment to just focus and appreciate what they had done together and, celebrate that. And that's how it was. It was a beautiful moment. And both takes, I mean, look, I got to tell you, hardest thing to do. It's easy when you're playing around and goofing around to go like, oh, so where's the machine requires one more, to get someone to do another take. That's easy. But
at the end of take 1 and there's tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
And
but
they just hear the sound, man.
Yeah. Yeah, then you have to get back on the mic and figure out how to get them to do take 2 just in case. I don't remember what I did. I think, you know what? I think I remember. I think I actually got wise this time. And I told Rob before we started take 1, I was like, hey, listen, when you get through with, I want you to do 2 takes, but when you get through with the first one, I'm not going to say anything other than like, I'm going to get on the mic and just say like, okay, or something real, unobtrusive or whatever the word is, right? And I think that's what we did, just so, because I just didn't want to be cringy and been like, okay, that was awesome, just go ahead and do it again, like I don't want that.
Now give me one more with a little less little fewer tears on my floor.
Yeah. So
mop that shit up.
Yeah. So it has to go,
you bring up a great point, Kyle. I mean, there's the total opposite end of the spectrum of what I described before, which is that you may have absolutely an emotional song and you want to try and create an environment that yet again, it's so vital that the sound engineer is somebody that you feel comfortable and vulnerable with, You'd have to have that to be able to accomplish what it sounds like you guys came away with.
Yeah.
And that, so and that's what's beautiful about music. It's all the ends of the spectrum. There was a local band. I never saw them live. I only heard their 6-song EP, if it was even that. They were called Yo Soybean.
Okay.
Did you guys ever hear this band?
No.
Nope. Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, there were 2 songs on this very short EP in particular that were phenomenal. I remember they were around during Kill Clouseau days, totally different style. They were had a cello as one of the main sounds in their band. They were acoustic sounding. I think it was acoustic guitar, cello, and a light drum thing, and a good singer. The singer sang a little emo-y, but he had his own voice going on. And there was a song, one of the 2 was it must have been a personal story about somebody that he knew or something. It was an abortion, and I don't know who recorded it. I should know, because this was, during a time where I was analyzing that, trying to think who we were recording with back in the day and everything. But what happened in that recording was an insanely powerful, emotional, beautiful song. I couldn't believe it was one of the most powerful things that came out of Tallahassee, period. Locally, that was an amazing song. I'll have to find the track and maybe put a snippet of it in this, just so people can get an idea of the vibe and they can go look up the whole song. But my point being just that, this was they took that emotional concept lyrically to the end. It's so beautiful, but hard to listen to because it's so whoa. But it was merited. It wasn't trying to be emotional and powerful. It simply was because of whatever they captured in that room during that recording. It was very impressive. And I've talked this up in a really big way, and we'll find the clip, and then I'll put the snippet in here. And it's it's okay. Maybe back then I was more impressed by stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. You be the judge. I'll be the judge. We'll talk about it in the next podcast.
Cradles dressed in blankets, small toys, new tiles, a phone to hear sleeping, small toys, a red pacifier. The room awaits a breath of new life, the wallpaper's pink with horses and white. The cradles dressed in blankets, small toys, new tiles. The pages are buried deep in the ground. We long to find them. The pages are buried deep in the ground. We long to find them here. Climbs into her Volkswagen, 9 months, 4 miles. Rushes to the hospital, 9 months. Lord knows she's tired. She thought she'd hold her baby that night, but the heartbeat had stopped when morning saw light. She climbs into her Volkswagen, 9 months, 4 miles. The pages are buried deep in the ground. We long to find them.
Those are always the kinds of songs I gravitated more towards. It was there were not to belittle anybody, because I don't want to belittle anybody, but there was a bunch. Back in the day, in my perspective, memory's different, but my perspective of the bands back then, there was a lot of Dave Matthews Band clones. There were a lot of Creed clones. There's a lot of Stone Temple Pilots clones. There was just a lot of bands that just sounded like other bands. Yeah. But whenever a band had something that was vulnerable like that, especially live, when the rockin' party band would break down and then it gets serious and you'd feel it, it was like it would hit. I can't believe I never heard of this Yo Soybean band.
Yo Soybean.
Said they had a cello. That would have been like
There was a
really,
cello. There might have been a horn too, come to think of it. I don't know if it was just some FSU band that came together for a couple years or what, but I think that they had some promise for a moment there, like, bands do when they get a couple of great songs under their belt and good recordings. And it takes a lot more to go from there all the way to the, full success route. But it was really impressive. And I mean, again, one of the other dynamics that really helps a band do that is just to actually sound different. You're talking about the clones and everything. And it's like, even just using a different set of instruments and, you put a band that has a totally different sound in a lineup of bands that all sound the same, that band's going to stick out. That was when we did at Kill Clouseau, we did a couple of tour runs and stuff, and we kept getting paired up with a bunch of metal bands, like straight up metal, like Metallica metal, but more like the speed drumming. And I'm not picking on that at all, but the point being is like all the bands that we would be playing with that number that, and we were Kill Clouseau, we were not that, we had a clean singer and, we had like a lot of melodic, slower parts and floaty stuff. And it worked great for us. I mean, at first we thought it was a bad pairing, but, even the promoter was like, every time was like, dude, the venue was ask about you guys,
standing out in a good way.
Yeah. So.
Now I remember I remember feeling that way watching you guys back then at Floyd's and stuff like that. It was very much like I loved the record that Nils was on. I still have it.
Leodias's album. Yeah. That was our self-titled.
I love that record.
Thanks, man.
I burned that thing up in my old Mazda pickup. It was awesome.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that back on Spotify. I'm going to get the whole setup there. I was trying to figure out if we could remaster or remix our album from Maplehead and honestly pull the keyboards down a bit. It was just mixed in a way that none of us were like, man, it was so rocking in the studio. But I haven't been able to find the hard drive that has all those tracks on it and the Pro Tool sessions. It's a pretty disappointing because I had the band on board to all chip in money and we were going to get, like it remixed and make it a little more rock. But anyway, it was still a good recording. It's a good album.
Dude, you bring up a good point. Can I hijack this for a second?
Take it away.
Okay. I have wanted to be able to say this publicly, like somewhere for a long time, because it's one of the things that I believe most. Okay. Say you're a band, you come here or any studio, but just for the sake of argument, you come here and you record tracks. If you are paid in full, you know what I mean? Like your session's paid for, there's no extra hanging on or whatever. Like those files that are on my hard drive are your legal property. Like they belong to you,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And most people, and I mean, I get it. Most people don't have like a thumb drive or bring their own hard drive or something, but I always feel like bring a drive, bring something, and let me copy this Pro Tools session over. Even if it's not stems, even if you don't have Pro Tools and you can't open it, it's still your property. All those audio files are still your property. And it's like safeguards against, it safeguards against if something happens to my drive, but it also safeguards against, like, say you're in your position, years later and you want to get it remixed. Like if somebody emails me and says like, hey, do you still have all the Pro Tools sessions from when we, did that record 5 years ago?
We had it. Maybe. I don't know what happened to it. There's some miscommunication between me and Cody. I'm like, are you sure you don't have, because you were asking for it and I thought I get, and he's like, you never gave it to me. I'm like, all right, because I don't know where it is. But we had it, and that's a great, point. Another thing might happen is, and I mean, maybe not everyone would agree with this idea, but it depends on the dynamics. But somebody in the band, might be out of the band later, and you could, if you had access to all those tracks, and for whatever reason, if there was some legal thing or whatever, you could pull out the individual person and get those tracks recorded, put out your album legal free, and then you got your actual, whether it be a bass player or drummer or whatever, with you on tour, and they're the ones. And I mean, that doesn't sound like people might have an issue with that, but sometimes, man, sometimes people leave a band and it's for like that person ended up doing some really bad stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're out, man. Like our lives are consumed trying to do this and you're out.
It safeguards against so many things. There's so many reasons to do it, but I can't tell you, I mean, out of all the stuff I've done here, once, maybe twice, I think that's actually happened. And that's why I'm very fastidious about like having a backup drive and having Ash, I know, man, like, and Dick, you're in the same boat when you're recording people, and you know what I mean? Like I can't tell you how often I get concerned about like, all right, I've got my hard drive. I'm putting it in the car. I'm going to drive out on the road. Have I backed up this? Have I backed up that? Like just in case, God forbid, something should happen. Am I safe? Can we continue working?
That's right. You're reminding me right now that I need to separate a pair of drives for a current project and that's what I do personally is I'll back everything up onto two just like consumer level drives. These are not editing drives. They're just backups. And then one stays in my office and the other one stays in my house.
Yep.
And that's it's pretty good. It hasn't failed me yet, but a drive will not turn on one day. I've had drives just literally go blank on me, going to lunch, coming back, booting the computer back up, and the drive has nothing on it. I'm like, what?
That's the
unrecoverable.
Worst feeling in the world to me.
Oh, it's terrifying. After that, I was like, never, ever again. And ever since then, I was like, I got to take this a lot more seriously.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing. It only has to happen once, and then
there's a goblin in your microphone,
dude.
There's a goblin in your microphone, Dick.
There's a goblin in your microphone, Dick.
A digital goblin.
A digital goblin.
Digital goblin.
Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2.
He's still there. He's poking your tonsils.
Continue the conversations. I'll be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
This happens to Dick from time to time. He's got a goblin in his microphone studio.
Yes, it happens. Oh, the weather machine's very noisy.
Goblins all over.
Yeah. The goblins, they have the little hands and they love to climb. See what I mean?
It's a Dick thing. I'm really bad about, an English accent. I love Australian accents. They're like my favorite.
I can't do one, but I love it.
I'm not even going to start. I won't be able to stop the rest of the podcast.
I used to have one, like a long.
What? You used to have an Australian accent?
Well, I mean, just one that I could pull out. Not not like I get hit in the head or something. And you remember that one summer that I was like from down under? No.
Yeah, you kept wearing that hat everywhere, and you had on that big knife.
Yeah. It was a weird.
No audio, Dick. I'm sorry, buddy. No.
Oh, Dick. No.
The backups is there's no audio. He might have to leave and come back. I don't know.
Muted on the StreamYard app.
Oh, okay.
I do that whenever I reset my rig. When it comes back, it's on mute by default.
Gotcha.
I had it the last time too. You're like, oh no, man, you got no audio, and I'm like, what?
I'm sorry.
What? It's fucking muted there. You can see it the same as I can. The gun wants the mute button.
Yeah, they got in there.
No, Australian accents are just too many R's when they say R. It's like they put extra R's in all the words, right?
I think
don't, you don't know, I don't. Maybe that's New Zealand.
Yeah.
Right,
oh man, I'm not going to be able to decipher between New Zealand and Australian accents.
You're going down, tearing to the road.
That sounds dead on right to me.
Fucking dead ass Australian accent.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Have you considered VO work? I mean, like, I think it might.
I haven't checked my email in a while.
Oh, speaking of VO and AI taking over all voiceover artists, I have so many people at least 3 a month, at least for years. voice talent that email me randomly as a video production company offering their services. And it's like, I have not used AI for it, but I'm just thinking, man, that is a tough career to be hinging on. I hope they must all have other jobs too.
A freelance voiceover agent. Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll send you samples. And it's not that they're not, there's good stuff there, but it's here's the other thing. 19 times out of 20, everyone's trying to sound the same way, just like the classic trailer voice, like the old movie trailer voice guy. Like, it's like when it comes to
that guy.
Yeah. And like newscasters have a certain tone. And then like all these people kind of sound interchangeable because they're doing exactly what they think they're supposed to do. It's like, I really would rather have like a unique voice, Sure. But anyway, that's a tough road to go down. Speaking of AI, did you guys see the little 1 minute Foo Fighter clip that I sent you guys on the Facebook Messenger thing?
No. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's 1 minute long. It's okay. I should have told you guys it was only 1 minute, but it's a funny little ad that they put out. And I might play a snippet of it in this episode so people can see. But basically, they're just talking about how important it is to them on their music coming up that it's like human made. And that, it's like it actually has heart and real people in it. And the whole time that it's talking, it's the entire thing's AI. So it had you'll start seeing all these oddities with extra fingers and feet and stuff like that. And they're just talking about how important it is to be human. It's pretty funny. So the whole thing's just an AI 1 minute spoof about making a real album with real people. That's pretty good.
Man, Charlie and I have had Charlie Roberts, the owner of
Charlie Roberts.
We had an interesting conversation about AI as it relates to like recording studios and audio.
Yeah.
Recently. And, Charlie is not afraid to ask big questions at all. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things that makes him so great is that,
I love Charlie. I love you, Charlie.
I love Charlie. He's doing.
I love you, Charlie. I've only met you on Facebook, but
Charlie Roberts was a huge part of me having the confidence and opportunity to make stuff that was like elevated my skill set. Getting to make stuff for Eli and giving me the reins and giving the budget and the actors and the costumes and the places, it really helped elevate the production. I was like, oh wow, this is getting pretty good. Like I could go further with this. Go ahead. But Charlie's asking you big questions and he brings up an AI question to you.
So he just, he wondered how that would affect us, just Gasoline Alley. But
yeah, totally.
I think, one of the things that like, I am not as concerned about AI as far as like this place, at least not at this moment, because if we were that kind of just like button pushing studio, you know what I mean? That was just like, all right, great. You're going to come in and record, 15 minutes of blah, 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 blah. You reading the phone book or whatever.
Bring you back tracks, press record. Okay.
Yeah.
And now done. Yeah, about an hour.
If we were that sort of rinse and repeat kind of facility, I think I'd be more concerned. But every single one of the projects that I've done has always been almost like passion projects. Do you know what I mean? Like they are made by people who genuinely care about what they're doing. And I don't think that's going to go away. I think you'll see places that are just like, oh, we need a jingle, for our tire, our tire shop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're going to see people pay to go into a studio to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. But I think if you're a group of people who came together and wrote these songs and now you want to record them, I don't see them like going like, oh, well, we'll just go to blah, blah, blah.ai and, type in the chords and do this and do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
I
see
agree.
that happening.
Well, I think I agree with you, and I'm facing the same scenario of big questions with my field, right? Because AI videos creeping in and stuff like that. And the thing is, the saving grace for job opportunity, but also human fulfillment is that by the people that want to get filmed or the people that want to get their music recorded is that's them. You know, the AI is just going to be, I think, a tool enhancer for our field.
Yeah.
If you versus like from scratch, everything goes through the AI. No way. Because for me, with filming people, the whole idea is that it is actually them, and they need to represent their business or their movie or them acting like they're trying to fulfill themselves artistically. If they're just doing AI, they're not coming to me to begin with. Those are people that are just doing stuff that they would have probably not done otherwise. And so maybe they're having an artistic outlet. We've talked about this over the past few episodes. You could still, you know, people might get involved in this that never would have otherwise. You know, I had a person that was asking me about doing a music video for music that they had written with an AI. They didn't even sing on it, and they wanted to make a music video.
Right.
And it's like, but that person would have never made anything musical had they not explored doing that. Whether I made a video for them or not, that's a different question. But I think with the tool set, we're going to have stuff that's going to be nice. So for instance, you know, you're talking about the fun part of mixing music is the mixing part and recording it. Those are kind of like, there's the physical part that you need physical hands-on recording instruments, working with artists, looking at hand positions, chord movements, communicating back and forth, you know, collaborating in a way, jamming it out. Like all that doesn't exist in AI. It's prompts.
Right.
You type in a prompt, you get something. For me, it's like being with people and filming them. And, you know, I have to physically go on location, film the products, the objects, the scenes, the locations. Like that's not a prompt. You know, it's like there's not a truth to it that needs to be conveyed, you know, in whether it's a story concept or a product that they need to sell. Nobody's buying something based on a pure 100% AI video of a product.
Right.
You know, in general.
Right.
Picture might be different. Pictures are harder. But
Yeah.
it's like you can get a picture. They're doing some scary stuff, actually, which I don't need to go down that rabbit hole fully. But my point is that imagine for your drum cleanup, you know, like cleaning up drums is I have treacherous stuff where I have to organize my footage and go through. What if there's an AI that just helps get it 90% there? We're talking about the grunt work, the stuff that you would hire an assistant for.
Yeah.
And that's a problem because now you're cutting out the person that comes in at that entry level that would get their chops built up that way. But you as an independent has this power and you can get things done faster. You can focus more on the art. So there's weird trade-offs. What do you think?
Yeah.
Take it from there.
Well, okay. So like I have said for a long time that the studio hierarchy is pretty much dead because I was this guy for a long time who I was messaging, you know, Jerry Gaskins, who, you know, took this place from being the original name, which was Flamingo. Flamingo was built in like the late 70s. It operated as a commercial studio until about the mid 90s. Then they shut down for about 10 years. And Charlie Roberts wanted to get the place back going. So he contacted Jerry Gaskins, and Jerry is why this place is still here and why it's called, why it's still a studio. You know, they rebranded as Gasoline Alley. But anyway, so I was the guy messaging Jerry saying, it was really after I heard the Sacred Ground, the Eli record that Kurzweil produced. And I know you did the music video for Sacred Ground. And there's one other off of that record that
Judgment Day came after that one.
That's right. Yeah. So after I heard those records, I was like, holy shit, that was done in Tallahassee, you know?
Yeah.
And then I found out it was Kurzweil that done it, but I knew enough at that point to know that, like, yes, John is amazingly good at what he does, but you also have to have a really good place to do it in at that level. You know what I mean? So that's when this place came on my radar. So I was the guy who was messaging Jerry, like, I'll clean the toilets. I'll sweep the floor. I'll make coffee. I'll do whatever, you know? And, you know, I did that a couple of times, and Jerry was like, yeah, I really don't really have anything for you, because it's a one-man operation, essentially, right?
Yeah.
And then when, you know, Jerry was moving. I think he moved somewhere closer to Destin. But anyway, so I took it over after that. But now, people message me about that and do those same kind of things about like, how can I get in? And it's like,
Me too.
Like I don't really have a spot for you. And the thing is I could have probably as many unpaid interns as I wanted.
Me as well.
But I don't want someone to work for me and me not pay them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I, so maybe that's on me, because really all I wanted when I was asking those questions was like, I just wanted to fucking learn and see like how it was going. Like the knowledge was the payment. So maybe it's something I need to reevaluate, because hierarchy, and like I was saying earlier about me watching Kurzweig produce, gave me permission to be like, oh, I can produce too. I can, I see where I fit in this picture. Right. And, so the studio hierarchy used to work like, and you've heard this story probably a million times, of it's almost a trope at this point of like, well, I was the coffee guy until the assistant engineer, he had the flu one day, and I had been there and doing a good job making the coffee. So they're like, hey, get in here. When I tell you, I need you to turn the gain on this up to blah, 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 and then next thing you know, that person's an assistant, and then they keep moving up and they move on. But either way, it's experience. It's apprenticeship, right? And an apprenticeship in this field is kind of non-existent. Not kind of non-existent. It's completely non-existent, That being said, AI would be doing a job that doesn't exist now anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's not really taking anybody's job away, because the job's already gone. Napster took that fucking job, 30 years ago. Yeah. So I would love those kind of tools. I would love those kind
They're
of
coming. They're probably halfway there. I mean, I've already started testing a little video stuff, and I don't like the way it quite does it yet, but I'm like, man, a year from now, this is going to be covered, and I'll be able to do more work. The question being the volume expectation from people of what they'll get for the budget that they spend might go up, based on but they shouldn't. It shouldn't be that way. Yeah. In the idea that they still can't achieve the thing without you. They can't achieve the end result without you that you would provide. But there's going to be more competition that's willing to do it for cheaper, that's ability, their skill set's going to be enhanced by these tools. Things that are going to be able to figure out the EQ for you with your instruments so they're not cutting each other off, just get it again, like 80% in the ballpark, and then you're nudging things in a certain direction, and then you can just play and come up with ideas. If you had an extra, imagine you'd open up like 3 days where you could spend just mixing versus 3 days of grunt work and 1 day of mixing.
It's okay.
I got to get out of here.
No. We got some explaining to do.
It's okay. Take it slow. Can you feel your feet?
Yeah, I can feel my feet. Yeah.
Did you feel that? You feel this?
I haven't been in a coma for a year.
I didn't feel anything. You feel this?
I feel it.
Oh, okay. All right.
The Normans attacked you. They were trying to steal your documentation on shutting down Harmonia. I mean, I salvaged what I could, and Ash and I, we've been picking up where you left off to the best we can.
We finished your mind travel machine. We just got back from entering your mind. It's the first test that we've done. We were able to collaborate with your muse. The process must have spiked your brainstem activity, and it's why you're waking from your coma now. This is a completely unintended side effect, but very exciting. But, well, it's incredible.
We're inside you.
Oh, my.
It went well.
Everything's starting to just sound the same. Let's show them that our hearts cannot be tamed. Our hearts cannot be tamed.
I mean, that's, we talked about this a little bit the last time I was on, is that, I'm trying to get to automation as quickly as humanly possible, because that's really where the mix opens up. And now that we've got the console, like, that's even at a whole other level.
Yeah.
Because it's taken that automation process from something that's very like mouse and keyboard and kind of disconnected into
disconnected by comparison.
Yeah, it's very tactile, very hands-on. You feel like you're being creative, being artistic, as opposed to, I mean, not that it was kind of like by comparison, you know what I mean? Like, had I not had the experience of like automating on the console, then I would probably still be like happy as a clam to just sit there with my mouse for hours and hours and hours, but now I'm like, well, fuck, I can't go back now, whatever I do, I've got to have some faders in front of me,
Right. I get it.
But there are some tools in the audio realm that are already kind of there. Like, we talked about it before, Isotope. They have, it's not Ozone. I can't remember what the product name is, but there's
the RX line.
It's not RX either, but it's the same company that makes Ozone and RX. They make another product. Maybe it's
Sapphire,
Nectar, or something like that.
Nectar's one of them. That's one of them in there. Yeah.
But basically, you can insert this on every track of your mix and say, like, this is a snare drum, and it'll get you an EQ curve and compression and saturation and stuff like that. And I tried it, I demoed it, and I didn't particularly enjoy it.
I don't like Nectar,
but
personally.
But the thing is, it will happen to AI, and it's a thing I don't really hear any people mentioning, is that like these products are incredibly expensive. There's a barrier to entry, like the really, really good stuff, especially like AI stem separation, where you can put like an entire track into like a fully mixed track, and then say, like, I want you to separate the drums and give me the guitars as a stem and give me the vocals as a stem. Like, it works pretty well, and the technology is only getting better, and the iteration time between version 1 versus version 2 is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. But it's stupid expensive. Like some of these, I mean, in my world, like, plugins are $100 to $200 on the top end, and some of this stuff is like $500-$600 for like the full bells and whistle version.
Or the suites are like, $1,500, $2,000. But on Black Friday, I mean, it's nuts. Software is the thing to get on Black Friday. It just is, because it doesn't affect them at all. They're not selling a tangible good. Digital products are what you should, or where the steepest discounts happen. We're talking about literally like less than half off on a lot of stuff. We're talking about like 70% discounts on things. Yeah. That is when I get all, like, 80% of the software that I get over the course of a year is Black Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. There's, John and I talk a lot, and one of the things that we're constantly talking about is like who's offering a plug-in deal at any given moment. So about a month ago, Oxford put everything of theirs on sale for like $20 a piece, a pop, right? It was just really random. There was not Labor Day or any sort of holiday. It was just like, it's a Wednesday, we're doing a fucking sale. Like Oxford Inflator, which is a plugin that I really love, I bought it a couple of years ago. I think I bought it for $200, and the other day it was like $20. So I cashed in and got a couple of their other things that I had wanted to get, and I felt like just, morally and karmically, I needed to get in and buy, because it's like, oh, are you telling me Oxford Inflator was $20 this whole time, and I paid $180 more?
That's
than,
right.
You know what I mean?
So it's $20 today. Could have been $20 then.
Yeah. And the one we really talk about though that will never go on sale is Serato Pitch and Time. It was built off of like DJ software. Like if you want to raise or lower the pitch of a song to like make it be in the same key as a mashup of another song that you're about to go into.
Okay.
Serato's great. It's the best pitch and time stretching and pitch shifting algorithm ever. And they've had it on lock for like 20 years. Like they haven't.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They're on version 2 point something. You know what I mean?
It might get beat in the next year, man. I mean, the technology is getting nuts.
Dude, maybe. But the reason I don't think they have is because Serato still sells the same product for $800.
Damn.
After I don't know how many years, and they never go on sale ever. They no Black Friday, nothing. It's just like look,
this year something's coming out. And it will be a competitor, and they will go on sale. Mark my words. And I'll own it, and I'll say I bought it for $20. No, it'll be $200.
Dude, I hope so, because I fucked up when I demoed the like super high class $800,000 version, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I'm gonna buy this, and this is when I had less than no money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was.
You were in debt.
Massively, yes.
Which none of us are in debt now.
Oh yeah. No, well, I still am. I just have cooler shit now. You know.
I know. Yeah. Everyone lives in a little bit of debt. It's the American way.
It's the British way. Is it anybody Muppet Christmas Carol reference?
I love.
Okay.
What is the German way?
Yes. Well, it's the German way is that we turn the weather machine on and it never comes off. See?
The weather machine's in debt.
It's always mildly wrong.
The weather machine is in heavy debt. Yeah. But so I ended up having to buy like the next tier down version of whatever. And I don't know, man. I've regretted it ever since. I almost like wish I would have spent the money that I really didn't have just to be.
Can you cross grade to the upgrade?
Oh, wow. They don't offer something? That's crazy.
Serato knows what they got, man.
Damn.
Serato knows what they got. It's so much better than everything else. Well, John. Okay, I don't know. You guys may not know this about John, but John is like super hardcore mad scientist about like testing things. You know, one of the plugins that I don't remember if he discovered it or I discovered it, but either way, it was around the same time we both got it. There's a plugin called Hoffa for You Blind Test or something like that. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, basically what it does is it lets you legitimately shoot out two plugin settings or whatever, like, and you don't know which one you're listening to.
Cool.
It's great. It's super great for like testing out. If you're demoing a plugin, like there's a million Neve 1073 style plugins. So if you get virtually the same setting on both and then use this Hoffa blind test thing, most of the time it keeps me from spending money is what I'm, really, really happy about. Now, the downside of it is since it tells you the actual truth, a lot of the plugins that are supposed to be good that you already bought because you were like, I don't need to demo this. This is the most amazing plugin it's going to make me sound, great and incredible.
Yeah.
And then Hoffa will immediately be like, actually, it sounds better with nothing on it,
Yeah.
So that's the downside. But Kurzweil likes to test and shoot out tons and tons of stuff. And he's really turned me on to really, really doing he did the same track, and then he used 4 different pitch shifting algorithms to just see like which one did it the best or whatever, and then put Hoffa blind test on those 4. So it was like he gets hardcore with the testing.
Yeah.
And Serato just beat everything else, like beat the brakes off of everything else so hard that it's not even fair. So no, They won't cross grade. No,
Okay.
they won't go on sale. They have a monopoly on what they do. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's good for them. Anyway, I'm sorry. I haven't gone hardcore down. Like
no,
Serato,
it's good.
man.
Sriracha sounds great.
I really am a fancy of that red chicken sauce.
Yeah, dude, that shit is good.
So I know we're at close to this hour. I did want to give a little perspective on the AI conversation, because we never really leave the AI conversation. And
it's just such a present thing. It's crazy.
And you two are on your day to day in really similar worlds, which is a creative world. And I like, one of the things I like about this podcast is I get to listen. And like today, I am in no threat of AI taking away anything from my livelihood, because today I spent the better part of 12 hours managing a crew tearing a roof off of a building. Yeah. And in no time will AI do that anytime soon. Now it might be coming, but it's not. However, when we talk about things like AI creeping into the video world, creeping into the audio world, and automating these creative tasks, right? I kind of lean back on a book I read called The Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance is the name of the book. But it kind of illustrates two character types, two personality types, where the one guy enjoys knowing everything about his motorcycle engine. He knows every nut and bolt. He fixes it himself. He does all his own oil changes, and he is one with his bike. And the other guy never doesn't know anything about it, always takes it to a professional mechanic. He spends the money, he has them do it, and it's always done right. And neither one of them are wrong. One of them, though, is much more artistic in that specific area. And you two, respectively, are master craftsmen in your respective creative area. And you're not going to get people to the level that you are using a prompt to create something. That what I'm more concerned about is how many more of you are there to come up once that starts happening? Because it's going to happen. But the stuff that's going to get made, it's not going to be made by the craftsman like you. It's going to be made by your everyman who just pays to get the latest gadget, right? And then all of a sudden they're the artist. All of a sudden they're the musician. Now they're the engineer. They're the videographer. Now all of a sudden it's them, but it's not really. And it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be as good. So, I mean, I take comfort in that thought that sure, it's coming and it's going to be a useful tool for the people who know how to use it to its effect. But I don't think that there's any real danger outside of what you said earlier, like they're going to make the barbecue jingles with the AI, and they're going to make the little short, the 20-second commercial ad for Vienna sausages with the AI,
which wasn't the passion that you got into this for to begin with, audio or video wise.
Sure. Yeah.
I agree with you, Dick. I think we're going to kind of have. I personally think what's going to happen is there's going to be like a 10-year window where some knowledge is almost lost, where a generation comes up and that's their starting point, is working with tools like that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to get to the point, we as a population, as a planet, will have to get to the point of where we kind of start hearing the cues that's how it was developed over and over again. Then we start hearing the differences of the fine wine of the seasoned artisan, that still that's being conveyed in the audio that they make, or the videos that they make, the directing that they do, the way they do it. And I think it'll come back, and then it'll be like something where people want to start like learning more. It'll be a reverse in a way of the learning experience, They'll actually backtrack some to kind of then start understanding what it was that they were doing. Because it is very different for us, Kyle, like using these kinds of tools as people that already know how to do this stuff without the tools.
Yeah.
That's a very different starting point, and so we know how to kind of take it and know to not use it like just wash it in that shit.
Yeah,
because that's the most common thing, right? Somebody that's green gets a plug-in, or they get a video effect, and it's just you look at all the people and their skin smoothing on Instagram, and it's like nobody is fooled by that. You are taking that and just plastering it on like an opaque. It's the forefront, right?
Well, it's different when they use it on themselves, because then you have a level of vanity that's going into it as well.
It's 100% that.
Well, I do definitely have the like initial getting to know you period. Like there are many mixes that no one ever hears of, like, I just got this plugin and there and it must be on every track. Like it was like that for there's the ATR 102. It's like a tape plugin, a really good tape plugin. And there's one mix out there that's never going to see the light of day. But there's one where it was like everything. You know what I mean? Tambourine? Fuck yeah, tambourine needs like
everything just sounds better.
Yeah, it just sounds better. They said it sounds better. Like they said tape sounds better, so I put tape on it and it sounds better. You know, even though it doesn't.
Don't worry about this mix. Carl was on the honeymoon with the ATR.
Yeah, dude. It's serious, but I think that I like your theory of like of kind of this whole new generation of people coming up with these tools, because I definitely feel like, you know, I'm gonna be the old man if I'm not careful about, you know, embracing and learning enough new technology, that I'm going to be an old man that's just like, you know, we used to, you know, have blah 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 back in our day, we made it for real, and you know,
we didn't have all those flickety button thingies in there.
And I just don't want to be like at Thanksgiving with my nieces and nephews or whatever, and they're just like, don't mention AI around Uncle Kyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you gotta be aware of it and take advantage of what makes sense to take advantage of, and see where the weaknesses are and things, and understand the entire ecosystem that you're pricing things in, and what's working, what's not, why it doesn't work. You got to know what's going on to be able to point out what's deficient about it to your clients. You know, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, when you know, all of a sudden, you know, something's in the shot, or there's a specific sound that's there, and once you point it out, you can't not hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, if you can help do that for people that they're thinking about hiring, and you point out, like, well, the problem with that, like, they're looking for cheaper alternatives, you know, and it's like, they can't unsee that once you point it out.
Yeah.
Then they know it's a deficiency, you know. It's just, they need that opportunity for things to be pointed out to them sometimes, because when you're first learning about an entire thing, everything looks like gold.
There isn't, weirdly, I didn't realize it until just now, I didn't have a term for it, but there's kind of an uncanny valley thing happening with the AI generated music. Like, I can't 100% tell you what's not quite right about it yet, but I just know when I hear it, my brain goes like, what is that? What's happening? You know?
Did you see that episode? Rick Beato has talked about this a few times, but his kids can identify blind tests, right? And it's like, they can't. I haven't listened to that kind of music enough to necessarily, I mean, sometimes I can definitely tell. There is some kind of weird echo thing or reverb tinge that's very specific, that seems to be a lot on the vocals of a lot of the music. You know, when you see stuff written by ChatGPT, for instance, one of the tells 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you see somebody's like awesome written thing. If there's in dashes in there, like those longer little lines, you know, that's ChatGPT, man, because nobody you know ever used that shit. And ChatGPT puts it in, you start noticing, oh, everyone's pretending that they're writing these really well-crafted speeches, and there's in dashes all in it. It's like, that's fucking, you just totally use ChatGPT, dude. I can tell.
Weirdly, you know? Google search having like they have the new like AI thing. Like if you ask a question, there'll be a summary, like an AI summary or whatever.
Gemini's working within the browser now.
Okay. So like, that's helped me spot more AI stuff, because it's like they're telling me like, hey, there's even a little thing at the bottom that says like this was AI generated or has something, right?
Yes.
Kind of, for me, it feels good because it's like, okay, pattern, like I'm a pattern recognition machine. That's like how we're wired as like human beings, right? So I'm really grateful that is happening, because that's helping me develop like that seems like it might be AI. Is this AI?
Yeah.
Because that's the fear is, you see people, they're like elder Gen Xers and baby boomers and stuff like that. And they, like Rick Beato was saying, like they can't tell, right?
Sure.
And I fear the day personally when I start experiencing that kind of thing. So, it's like I can't tell what's going on. The Carrie Byron and Tori Belleci from Mythbusters, they have a new podcast that they started. It's actually pretty entertaining if you like Mythbusters. I do.
Yeah. Carrie and Tori also rest in peace. Grant.
Yeah, I know.
Imahara was awesome.
Dude, you can totally feel his presence there, like on there. Cause like if he was still alive, like, he would be right there with him. You know what I mean? Anyway. They have a little recurring segment, I think, where, because they're like this podcast where they have, like, I think every podcast now there's a visual element, right?
Yeah.
And they will play like AI videos and try to do the, like, can you tell if it's real or whatever? And they're not that, I don't think they're that much older than like we are, and they're having like a really difficult time parsing what's what, know, and that freaks me out, because I want to be able to tell what's real and not any like objective perceivable reality sense of real. I mean like tangible real. That's
it is like rampant on social media, on between like the reels, not the pun intended, the reels, the little short videos that are on there. Even more so like just regular posts. Like, but the good thing about the posts is you can use your AI software to distinguish whether or not the post is AI generated or not. There's a lot of really dumb stuff that we're not going to talk about on social media happen to be right now. And there's a lot of people, like I see friends that have like reposted things, like asinine, absolutely ridiculous things. Yeah. And like I've screenshot it for them, plugged it into AI. The AI has generated, yes, this website is malicious. It is AI generated, fake news, this is their thing. They're like, this is what they do. And it's like instant confirmation, and like helping like some people, like, I don't want to say older people, but people who are not as savvy to the AI that's been infiltrating their devices through social media, because it's everywhere. It's
everywhere. And every time that there's been like a live announcement or a speech by political figures or CEO owners, or I'm following on the day of that those speeches are happening, there's simultaneously live feeds happening across all these channels on YouTube, and they're those speeches, but they're these small channels. It's like they're hosting this, and you click on it, and it's them talking at the same speech, and then everything's manipulated, and there's a QR code up on the screen saying that we're just going to be doing this for this limited time, where we're going to be giving back to the American people, X amount of money, or this crypto thing, or this, you name it. Tesla is giving away free stock for the first people that go ahead and click on the QR code. And it's an AI manipulated live stream on the day of the same looking speech happened hours earlier.
Yeah.
And it's just, they've done it with Trump, they've done it with Elon, they've done it with all these CEOs that I would name off that you wouldn't know, but I know because I follow all these financial things.
Right.
And it's just like, that's just the tip of the iceberg, man. It's just crazy. And when you upload a video to YouTube now, and you guys may not know just because I'm the one uploading all these videos to YouTube, you have to select, there's a checkbox. You have to say if anything in the video was manipulated by AI. If there any AI in the video, you have to say whether it's there or not. Yeah.
I mean,
it is good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with
Announce your presence.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know what's real.
Yeah.
I like the manipulation.
Yes. I only like to manipulate clouds, not people's thoughts and actions. Yeah.
I gotta go and think about that.
Yeah. Good luck. That's gonna haunt you. Okay, so would that constitute like a broken user agreement? Like, say, if you don't check that box and then it's discovered. Okay, so that breaks.
But that's gonna get a little complicated. It does, and it should only be an issue should something get flagged, I would think. But I started to think, well, what about like when I'm putting a picture of, I'm saying Chat GPT generated this image, for instance, and this is what it came up with off this voice prompt. Well, I physically just put AI in the video. So would I need to check that box? You know, if somebody had an issue with it, that would potentially flag me.
I would read it as has
not what they're looking for.
Manipulated the video like from its original source data.
Definitely, but it is like a weird area where that kind of thing that I just described will happen more. Like, what about when I use AI to create text graphics? Or what about, for instance, in Adobe Premiere, let's say I have a clip, you can actually drag, I haven't tried this yet, but you can do it. You can drag a clip longer than it actually existed for. So it's a guy walking to a car. You can drag it longer and then it'll literally try to create an extension of exactly that scene so it goes a little bit longer. That's AI manipulated. So you know, little things like that. So now you're talking about, what about when you use AI to make a special effect that's in your video? Right?
So it's their wording specifically says manipulation or
is anything altered with AI in this? I think is the word. Yeah,
dude, that's so broad. Altered is so broad. Yeah,
exactly. So imagine that you have a channel, and for whatever reason, this isn't my situation, but if it's slightly controversial on any direction, and somebody just wants to fuck with your channel, they could flag that. You know.
Yeah.
And then you're like dealing, and it only takes 3 strikes and you're out on YouTube. Your whole channel and all your subscribers are out. It's just weird. You know, we don't know how to, I like that they're trying to ask these questions. I don't think that that's what they're trying to, did you use it to make an explosion happen? Because if so, big red flag. Right. I don't think that's the problem here. But I'm just saying it's starting to get weird where there's going to be a lot of deciphering and like who's, you know, the one that gets to decide whether that should be or shouldn't be allowed. And, you know, I don't know. It's a confusing world we're heading into. We're actually approaching an hour and a half. So I know Dick's tired. Guys. He's got to get up at 5 a.m. You asshole. Hey, there is something else I wanted to mention. 9 Inch Nails made the soundtrack for Tron, the new Tron movie, and it comes out in like an hour.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Yeah,
that's totally rad.
The whole album. Yeah,
that sounds really cool. Do you know I've never seen any Tron?
I only saw the one that they did a few years back. It was actually pretty good. Like it got mixed reviews, but it was pretty good actually. Yeah.
I've never seen the original. I've never seen.
I never saw the original either. I don't think it would hold up. But the last one that came out that this is a sequel to, which I haven't even seen the preview for this new one, but
Jeff Bridges, right?
He's in it, but he's not like he's not the main. But he's a big character. He's an important character in the last one. Okay. But it was pretty cool, man. It was like surprisingly good. Like, especially, I think what happened was like, it was like great. And then like the last 30 minutes is kind of like, oh, that's how they kind of went with it, you know? But it was like so entertaining up until that last part. And like, I want to say this is a fucking great movie, but kind of ended a little weak. Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited because I mean, I like when Tom Holkenborg kind of made the jump from, you know, making EDM style music into doing movie scores and stuff like that.
Who's Tom Holt? I don't know that guy.
Do you remember I don't remember his DJ name, but do you remember that remix of the Elvis song, A Little Less Conversation, that was like the unofficial theme song of Las Vegas for a little while? Is like
maybe, you know, I probably would recognize it if I heard it, but it's not.
Yeah, that was like one of the bigger breakthrough things that sort of took him from being like underground EDM kind of guy more mainstream.
And then he moved into soundtracking.
Yeah, it's so similar to watching like The Rock become Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and now just like Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
like that same thing is kind of
actors
happened.
on the planet.
Yeah. So I'm totally down to hear like Reznor's take on especially like that kind of movie too.
Well, and he's done a handful of movies now.
Okay.
As the soundtrack guy. Yeah, he's been doing movies. I wish I could rattle off a list of them, but I know. And he did like the Doom game. One of the Dooms, he did the whole soundtrack for one of the Dooms.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Tom Holkenborg, I had to research who he is. His DJ name is Junkie XL.
Yes.
Junkie XL.
Yeah.
Recent film credits are like some big movies. Godzilla X Kong, The Justice League, Batman vs. Superman.
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road Furiosa.
Wow.
A movie that I haven't seen yet, but I want to see, The 3,000 Years of Longing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, RZA did some great stuff. He did the soundtrack for like Kill Bill.
Oh, cool.
The RZA did that.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, it was a great soundtrack. Both of them, 1 and 2. It was phenomenal.
I don't know what it is about that pipeline, but much like the drummer to recording engineer producer pipeline, the underground EDM to like film composer pipeline needs to be studied, because there's some interesting shit happening.
I think it's because of the sampling. Like you're already familiar with using samples and cueing off of, and I could see how that'd give you a broad spectrum of a palette to work with for soundtracking. It doesn't tight box you into a certain sound. Like you're such a sampler of all the music, because it's still different. Like even though I'm influenced by many, many, many things, when I write something, there's always me in it, you know?
Yeah.
And like to the point where it's like, I wouldn't know that you were influenced by that at all. Whereas if you're actually sampling and pulling things, but a drummer, I mean, that's not the same as sampling, but your beats, I mean, beats, you're the most, drummers can go into any situation and just like be there as part of that band. I don't know. It's such a versatile.
Well, it's certainly the goal, you know.
You could go play in a Latin band for sure.
Yeah, and I would try my damnedest, but I'm going to be honest. I think I might not get a call back. You know.
Sometimes that's the best time, though.
What, when you're not getting when you're just totally
just to bomb and own it and not get that call back. Like,
oh yeah, it feels good. The weather machine has completely broken down. Oh yeah.
And on that note, it's great.
Thanks, guys. This was fun.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great, man.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the podcast, that's awesome. We really appreciate it. But you should check out our full actual web series if you have not seen it yet, because this is where we put all the effort into a production. It's a sci-fi comedy, but we're a rock band, and so we put music videos inside of each episode.
No views but your own easy escape. Don't pay no mind to what they say. They're in their own world anyway.
Each episode features a new singer on each song that we unveil within the episode.
And will they
all unique singers from the Southeast region, most of them from right here in the Florida Panhandle, and all independent, unsigned, unknown artists until now.
No matter how hard I try, turn it down.
Premise of the show, Ash and I are a couple of bonehead guitar players living off the grid, trying to save humanity, which has been brainwashed from an artificial intelligence stripping us away of our creativity and our creative spirit.
We developed a mind travel machine to go into people's brains and collaborate with their inner muses, bringing back music that is completely organic from human muse collaborations. Enter Cue the Muses. You know what, we're kind of getting sidetracked, man. There's only so much time for frequency absorption. We need to hop on it. Can you fire up the cadence tubes?
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and get my shoes tied.
Okay. go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the little bell. Tell YouTube that we matter, that you like us, and that you want to see more of us, because that's the only way that happens. Stay tuned.